Hi you guys, I'm Lindsay and this is Inside the Hem, and I am so excited to announce something special that I've been planning for the month of May. It is the Sew Every Day for 30 Minutes in the Month of May challenge. The title sucks, I know, but the challenge will be really fun. And it's really simple to participate. Basically, you just need to sew for 30 minutes every day in the month of May, just like the title says. I'm going to be participating along with you. I've set up mini challenges, giveaways, prizes, all of that stuff to make the challenge as fun as possible. I know some of you are busy, and sometimes sewing is like the last thing you think of and the first thing you put aside. But sewing for 30 minutes a day can really add up. If you do that, by the end of May, you will have accrued more than 15 hours of sewing time, maybe started some new habits, built some new confidence, and finished some projects as well. So here's how it's going to work. All you have to do is commit to sewing for 30 minutes every day in the month of May. Now, I'm not there to see if you're actually doing it, so it's kind of like a trust system we've got going here, but I know that you can do this. Whether you are working on a super big project or like an event, or you just want to practice some new skills, it's all about making time for sewing. And I promise it will be worth it. Just like any hard challenge would be. If you miss a day, like I said, I'm not there. Who cares? No biggie. Just pick it back up the next day. It's fine. This is all about progress, not perfection. We're trying to make sure that we don't lose our sojo completely and that we don't go weeks on end without doing the thing that we love the most. So to help keep you focused and motivated, I've got mini challenges within the big challenge. These are optional, but I encourage you to take part in them because they'll help you focus your goals for that week and make sure you don't experience any kind of decision paralysis when you get into your room. So for the first week, this week, I challenge you to work on a work in progress. Whether it is a project that you just quit in the middle, or some mending that you wanted to get to, or any project that's just been collecting dust for whatever reason, that's where I want you to put your energy this week. Tackle something that's just been hanging around, you've been meaning to do for a long time. Finishing that will give you a ton of motivation to go into the second week, which is where we're going to try something new. That's the goal. So you're going to do anything that you've never done before, whether it's a new skill you've never done, using a sewing machine foot you've never used before, working with a fabric that you've never worked with before. Try something new in the second week. You are going to use this week to experiment and push your boundaries and let go of that fear of failure. Who knows, you might not actually fail to begin with. You might actually really like the new thing that you're trying. All right, for week 3, we're going to hone in on fit. If you're working on a garment, take this time to really focus on getting the perfect fit, which doesn't exist, but we're going to get as close as we possibly can. You can work on muslins, you can make pattern adjustments, or you can just practice different techniques that will help you with some fitting issues going forward. You will feel so much more confident in a garment that fits you well and feels comfortable. So focusing on fitting is not a lost cause. For the final week, the goal is to finish an entirely new garment. Use your 30 minutes that week to chip away at a sewing pattern, make progress on it, and at the end of the week, have a new garment to show for your time, your 30 minutes a day in your sewing room. You are going to be so amazed at just how much you can get done in 30 minutes a day. And as you know, the satisfaction of finishing a project is priceless. You might even find that committing to 30 minutes is just enough to get you in your sewing room. And then you end up staying longer and you end up getting even more done. Now, I know that there are some of you who are rolling your eyes thinking, oh, there's absolutely no way I could possibly do this. I see you. Even through this camera, I see who you are, and I totally get that. Sometimes life and sewing just don't go together. They don't always align, and you might have some doubts as to whether or not you can commit to this and be successful. Again, fear of failure is real, even if it's a silly sewing challenge like this. So I've got some solutions for you for the 3 main objections I'm anticipating from those of you out there. The first one is, I don't have enough space to leave my sewing machine out all the time. Been there. I once forwent my pantry. I had no food, but I had sewing storage. So I get it. But the truth is you only need a very, very small corner to set up a table and leave your machine out all the time. It doesn't have to be this huge, massive room all on its own. Additionally, if you plan your month, you can bulk some tasks together that will end up taking up less space. For example, if you spend the first few days only cutting out projects that you know you want to sew this month, once you've got them all cut out, you can put all the cutting supplies away and only have your sewing machine out, and it's ready to go every day for those projects that you've already cut. So getting organized, planning ahead is going to be the name of the game for those of you that are limited in space. But I promise you, the obstacle of having to take out your sewing machine, find the pedal, plug it all in, crawl on the floor, all of that is just enough to get you to say, forget this, I'm not doing it today. So I encourage you to find any space in your home to leave your machine out all the time so it's ready when you are. All right, now for those of you that are like, my schedule is way too unpredictable. I have kids, I have appointments, I have work, I have this. I get you. My schedule can be really crazy sometimes too. Here's how I ensure that I can still sew every single day. You put it in your freaking calendar as if it's an appointment. You treat it like a doctor's appointment, like a meeting with the kids' teachers. You know what I mean? A meeting with your boss. You put it in the calendar and then you show up to the appointment. Now, here's the kicker. If you really want to take this seriously, you can start charging yourself a cancellation fee if you don't show up for your appointment. If you're doing whatever you're doing and your phone's like, ding, sewing appointment, and you're like, I'm just not going to do it. I'm not rescheduling. I'm not doing it. Then charge yourself a cancellation fee. It can be something simple as I'm going to skip my Starbucks run tomorrow, or I'm not going to get Chick-fil-A for lunch like I usually do. Whatever it is, charge yourself something. So the next day you feel a little bit of the pain, like, oh, why didn't I make it to my sewing appointment? You know what I mean? All right, and for those of you who experience decision fatigue and project paralysis, I walk into my sewing room and I'm overwhelmed by the amount of options that I have of things to work on. So I don't end up working on anything and I just leave and I close the door and that's it. Also, I've been there. I understand better than you might think what that's like. To get around that, again, it kind of goes into planning. You are going to take all the many options that you have and you're going to make them fewer, way fewer options. So you're going to either maybe only make patterns or only look at patterns from a particular pattern company. That way it's not thousands of patterns, it's like maybe a dozen. Or you are going to only make something if your favorite blogger has a sew along with it. Or you're only going to make something that fits this particular kind of fabric, right? You're going to narrow down the options so that it's not so overwhelming. Just remember, the goal here is to build a habit and make sewing a part of your regular routine. Don't let space, time, decision fatigue, or any other excuse keep you from doing the thing that you love to do. Participating in this challenge is going to be a way for you to overcome all of that and just get to work every day. Now, for some extra fun, I wanted to reward you for participating in this challenge. So when you post your progress on Instagram or anywhere that you share things, make sure to use the hashtag ITHSew30. I'm going to be using that hashtag, searching for it, to pick out winners of a giveaway. And it's not just one giveaway. I'm doing probably 3 giveaways a week. I have so many fun prizes picked out. It could be a sewing tool, a pattern, some fabric, some of my merch. I've got lots of ideas. So hopefully getting free stuff is enough to encourage you to share your progress with everyone, with me online. So are you ready to get started? If so, grab your fabric, grab your sewing machine, get everything all set up, make your plans, Put your appointments in your calendar and get Start Sewing for 30 minutes every day in May. And that means today. Don't forget to use the hashtag ITH30 to share your progress, get encouragement, get motivation, validation, and also enter to win the weekly prizes from me. I'll be here all month long sharing weekly check-ins, sharing my own progress, tips, all kinds of fun stuff. So we are in this together. Happy sewing, and let's make May the best sewing month of the whole year. And come June 1st, let's be super proud of where we are on our sewing journey. That's going to do it for me today, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all very soon. I'll see you with the hashtag. I'll see you back here. Bye.